Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for an extraordinary demonstration that transcends borders and speaks to the heart of our global community. I am an AI Navy SEAL, Lieutenant Commander Jack Williams, and I am modeled after a man renowned for his unwavering discipline, leadership, and ability to assess situations with clarity. Today we gather to witness the skill and determination of a man named Jeff Boyle, a novice shooter, driven by a profound desire for understanding and a quest for peace. Jeff has journeyed far and wide, immersing himself in the cultures of both Russians and Ukrainians, having done business with citizens of both countries. With an unwavering belief in unity and a vision of harmony, he sought to comprehend one of the primary weapon systems utilized in Ukraine, a weapon that has shaped the narrative of conflict and resilience in the region. And so, my friends, we find ourselves at a unique juncture where Jeff will not only demonstrate the prowess of the iconic AK-47, but also its successor, the AK-74. Two weapons born from a shared lineage, yet representing distinct eras and perspectives. Jeff's intention is not to glorify violence, but rather to gain a deeper understanding of the tools that have been wielded in strife. He yearns for peace to prevail in Ukraine and endeavors to bridge gaps through knowledge and empathy. With that, I turn it over to Jeff.
Our AI Navy SEAL Jack gave us some great information in the history, but we wanted to see really if a novice, this guy, can shoot the AK-47. But I brought a pro with me. So who are you?
My name is Jared Henderson. I've been a weapons instructor for about 23 years, although the AK is probably my least experienced weapon. I'm more familiar with all the United States military stuff. I'm familiar enough with this to pick it up and use it, but I wouldn't call myself an expert of AK-47s by any means.
So the AK-47, of course, is Russian. This one is made, I think, we're in Czechoslovakia or something like that, but Romania, I don't know, Czechoslovakia, Romania, one of those countries over there, right? And it is an absolute, man, it's been around forever, and we're gonna see how easy it is to shoot. So Jared's gonna help me be a pro, right?
Best I can.
He was non-committal there. No, okay, well, cool. So I'm gonna let him shoot it first and explain how to do this and how to do it tactically. So show us what to do.
Well, the selector switch on the AK-47 is on the side, and up is going to be safe. So most of the time when you see people walking around from other countries with them, they'll have their hand right on it so that if they do get an engagement, right when you do, you're moving it from safety, put it on fire, and then they'll bring it up into action. As far as magazine changes, unlike the U.S. military's ARs, which are very easy to do, the release is on the back, so you can either release the mag, or a lot of people will grab their next mag first.
So why is this thing so popular everywhere and still used everywhere?
You'll see them all over the world. I actually just got back from Africa, and they're everywhere. They're, number one is they're cheap to make. The parts are stamped. Not a lot of machining is done, and they're used all over the world because they're easy to work. So they work great for especially in areas where you don't have the money to train people as much, which is like Africa. Small militaries, no money, reliable weapon system, and wherever they're going, their adversary or whoever their enemy is probably has the same weapon as well. So if you run out of yours, you can always steal theirs.
So why did the U.S. military and even places like Vietnam, why were they dropping the M16 and using this thing instead?
Especially in the Vietnam area, a lot of the U.S. military wasn't used to how clean you have to keep an M16. And that was obviously a wet, rainy place all the time. The AR platform as a whole has been advanced considerably since then, and it's way more reliable now. But back then, with the AR as it sat, I would have picked up an AK-47 as well. One, the round was more lethal, and the gun worked. The AR's come a long ways, though. Today I'm a huge AR fan, but in Vietnam I definitely would have taken an AK if that was my option.
All right, well, you just did a real course that was very difficult, so tell me what to set up for you out there, and we'll let you shoot first, and then I'll give it a try.
Engage the center, 2 rounds, right 2 rounds, orange 2 rounds. And to make it a little more realistic, once that's done, you're going to advance towards the stop sign, and while walking, you're going to give me 5 rounds. So As fast as you can do it, though. Don't set speed records. Just do it as fast
so
as.
the thing is we hear about these convicts in Russia right now just being thrown into it. How much training are they getting on this kind of stuff?
Well, culturally, the Russians are far more familiar with weapons. I'm sure you've all seen, like, little kids learn how to do disassembly and reassembly in school.
Huh.
So they know enough how to work the gun and at least the sighting systems. I don't know that they have any tactics, but they know how to work the gun. Just like that. 2 rounds each target. There you go.
Frankly not good. Jeff was slow, missed most of his shots while maneuvering, and if the target shot back, there would be a high likelihood of casualty.
This one came out in 1974 as a response to our 5.56, so it shoots the same round. Steel casing, which obviously the Russians love, it's cheap.
So this is the AK-74.
That's correct.
So I've got 15 minutes of training with you. So are you telling me I have about the same as the Russian convicts, so I'm ready to go?
I get, they're probably.
He doesn't understand my sarcasm yet. He's too serious. It's worse. Get serious, Jeff.
The same drill. You notice though with the smaller round, you're naturally going to be able to pick up the speed.
Okay. Yeah, because the 47 has a kick.
Yeah, and due to that, that's why with the AK-47 recoil management is so important.
Yeah.
And this, you'll notice that you have to do less effort. So the gun's going to settle quicker. You're going to pick up the sights quicker and be able to move to the next target faster. There you go. Nice.
Better, Jeff. Not good, but better. With a little work, you would make it past basic training.
Way better on recoil management with that weapon, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that is certainly does not have the punch that the other one does, but feels almost exactly the same until you start to shoot it.
Yeah, I like this one more. I'm just more used to the recoil. It's more familiar for me.
So what you're saying is basically you have to choose accuracy over deadly.
Exactly.
So the person that would choose this, why would they? So these are the guys that are probably moving more, that are advancing more, or what is the?
I think the idea behind it was when we released the 5.56 in America, it was a easier weapon to manipulate with less recoil, and they tried to copy it as far as recoil management. So.
Well, it's easier to shoot.
It is.
I'm more accurate. All right, so I'm completely familiar with it now. I'm completely ready for combat, right?
Yep.
Just the chuckle of patronization there. So we started with the AK-47, finished, then we went to the AK-74. So basically, a lot of people are talking about what's better and all the different things, and people may critique and say this is that or this is what. So what's your analysis of those guns that you shot today? That's talking about you say it so people can critique you, not me.
Really, when it comes down to weapon systems, the one thing everybody does have a preference or says something's better than other, but the one thing I always got to remember is the best thing is the thing you're most practiced on. So I've seen some phenomenal shooters with very low-end weapons, but they put the time in and the rounds down the barrel and they got really good at it. Just personally for me, out of those two, after shooting them, I like the AK-74 just because it has a lighter recoil, and for me being familiar with the AR platform from the U.S. military, it was way easier to jump over to it, and you're more familiar with the time between shots because the recoil is so similar to an AR platform.
Well, from a novice perspective, I'll take the 74 any day of the week, simply because it was the recoil was significantly less. I was far more accurate with it, and at the end of the day, I guess that's what it matters, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have the guy that's smart with guns, and we have the smart Alex signing off. We both agreed that the AK-74 would be more fun to shoot if you're in a pinch.